I just wanted to hop on live real quick because, being an adult in 2026 is definitely exhausting. And like if you are 30 and up, you're not just tired. You're tired of the job market too. Between Amazon laying people off, UPS, FedEx, Meta, and everything else that's trending right now, grown people out here looking for stability like it's a unicorn. It's fucking ridiculous, and excuse my language, but it is what it is. And this is not about, I couldn't find a job. I mean, it's about the emotional exhaustion that comes along with being an adult in 2026. And I can relate to back in 2023, right? Now I was working for this company, and we were kind of doing, well, not even kind of, we were doing leave of absence. So we were processing people that, that needed to be out for whatever reason they needed to be out, whether they were sick or if they needed a mental health day or they were pregnant and this, that, and the third. But the part I worked in, we handled accounts for DoorDash, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Williams Sonoma. And one day we get to work, and now, we have this emergency meeting. We got to work at 8 o'clock, or was it 7? I don't forget. But early in the mornings, we get to work. And then next thing you know, we're called into a meeting at noon, and now we're being told, yeah, we're sorry. We're going to have to do some, this company is restructuring and this, that, and the third. And, now you know, your job is no longer existent. So, because DoorDash had did some layoffs, Twitter had did some layoffs, Facebook had did some layoffs back then too. And so that affected the entire company. And now people are just sitting around looking like, well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to survive? And look at what we're doing right now in 2026. The same thing. Same companies laying off people left and right. And, just because you get laid off, the bills don't stop. They don't pause. They don't take a break. The bills going to keep rolling in. And people are really out here trying to find ways to survive. So, being an adult in 2026, especially if you're 30 and up, it's just like exhausting, you know? And people even younger than that, you know what I'm saying, that have a lot of responsibilities as well, you find yourself being exhausted, especially in this current climate with this job market. And I just got off the phone with one of my friends. We were on the phone for about, I don't know, about an hour or so, give or take. And he lost his job sometime last year. I want to say like in June or July or something like that. And now he's working at UPS. And okay, like he's not even getting full-time hours. They're only giving him like 25 hours a week. And how can you survive on 25 hours a week? And he has put in so many applications, and everyone's coming back and saying, well, we've decided to move on, with another candidate that better fits and meets our whatever it is that we're looking for. But you say you're hiring, but then, you got to compete with 3,000 other people that are out here looking for jobs. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. It really don't. And then when you get laid off, what companies tell you? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to provide you resources. Bullshit. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna help you try to find a job. Why are you gonna help me try to find a job when I already had one sitting right here? It doesn't make any sense. So, and just speaking with him and hearing what he is currently going through, and the challenges that he's facing. He was behind on his rent. He had to go to court today, so that took away his time from being at UPS. So he had to go to court today for to stop the eviction process, and they was getting ready to evict him over $86. He thought that he had paid when he turned in the money that he owed because he got behind on his rent. So he sent them a check of like, got a money order for like 3,000 and some dollars. They accepted that yesterday, but he had to go to court today to fight the eviction. But uh, the lawyer for the apartment complex was like, well, he still owes $86, and until he pays that, we're not going to remove the eviction. So now they gave him until February 9th or something like that. I'm like, it just doesn't even make any sense. Like, and I don't know, man. So many people are struggling out here and just really like having a hard time just trying to get over. Don't let, something life changing happen, whether, you have an accident or you got car problems. And in his case, he said he had car problems twice, which caused him to get behind on his rent, and trying to figure out ways to pay for the car, pay the car note, pay insurance. You got to eat. You need a roof over your head. And I mean, you got to you come in the house, you cut the lights on, you got to pay the light bill. You come in the house, you cut the gas on to cook something to eat, you got to pay the gas bill and this, that, and the third. So just trying to find ways to navigate through life is definitely challenging for a lot of people right now. And these companies do not care. They don't. They don't. And it's just like, well, what else are you supposed to do? Because when it has been ingrained in you, especially growing up as a kid, you got to go out there and get a good job. Well, what is a good job? Are these the good jobs that our parents was telling us to go out and get when we were growing up? Because these good jobs are definitely going away. They're definitely going away. And I don't know. I don't know. And one of the biggest uh, conglomerates or whatever you want to call it, UPS. One of their, I don't even know if that's their main location or their main hub, off of Marvin Miller Drive or wherever it is, off Fulton Industries, Marvin something. You know, they're laying off all those people and eliminating jobs in terms of drivers and, probably upper management and things like that. But like, who's going to deliver the packages now? Even with Amazon, who's going to deliver the packages now? And Amazon reportedly made $58 billion last year and still found a way to lay off all them people. All them people. But, well, we're going to provide them resources to try to help them find other jobs. It never works. It never works. It never does. Even when I got laid off in 2023, and they came to us with that same BS talking about, well, we want to help you guys find other jobs. If you can, if we can, we'll have workshops set up. We'll have resume writing classes and da 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 da. Da. Did they do any of it? No, they did not. Not Nan workshop, not Nan resume writing course or anything like that. Just services that they can give people. And sometimes we see the writing on the wall, but then like it's like, well, probably ain't nothing gonna happen to my job, but it don't affect us until it affects us. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so jacked up and so unfortunate that a lot of people are going through this right now and in these times of uncertainty because people are really a lot of people are really out here living check to check and you got to make a decision on, well, am I going to pay this bill or am I going to pay that bill? And I know I got to eat, I got to put gas in the car, I got to pay my phone bill, got to pay the light bill. I mean, and you got to make a decision. I mean, you don't need cable, you don't need internet, but you need a phone to communicate with people, and you need a car perhaps to get around. You can't be Ubering all up and down the place, especially if you don't have a job. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know. I just feel real bad for him, because and so many other people as well. But you see someone that is putting forth the effort. You see someone that is really trying to get ahead and just get not necessarily a hand out, but a hand up and a leg up in life. And every time they do something, it just knocks them right back down, knocks them right back down. But everybody's like, well, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. But people are tired of you just got to keep going. Tired. I'm tired of that whole mentality of I just got to keep going. How long do I got to go until I get my breakthrough? How long do I got to go before something finally changes? How long do I got to go? Just so I can just keep my head above water and just get ahead. Because no matter what it is that a lot of people are out here doing and are trying to do, it just ain't working. And it's just one thing after another, one thing after another, one thing after another, man. And so I send my thoughts and prayers and love and support out to anybody that is definitely facing uncertainty in these times, because it's definitely not needed, you know. And it's so sad that so many people and so many working class people that can't even afford to put a roof over their head out here sleeping in their cars, sleeping in garages, sleeping at the gym, sleeping in parking lots, or sleeping out in the woods, but still getting up every day to go to work. And sometimes we just don't know the struggles that people face and what may be, what what may lie behind the eyes. You know what I'm saying? So we may see a smile on somebody's face, but sometimes we don't know what pain and difficulties they may be facing. So, I, man, but I'm glad my friend was able to get his situation worked out today at the court. And but over $86, $86. They could have told him that. They could have told him that before he even went down to the court. Hey, just pay this $86 and we're gonna take care of everything. You're gonna be good. But no, he had to go through that whole process, and again, missing hours at work at UPS, and he only getting 25 hours a week, if that. And a random schedule at that. I need a set schedule. What time I need to be at work, what days, and I can't have this fluctuation. I can't. Because how do you have a fluctuating schedule like that with still trying to gain full-time employment? I mean, if one day you got to be at work at 8 a.m., and the next day you got to be at work at 3 a.m., or the next day you got to be at work at 11 a.m., or the next day you got to be at work at 1 p.m. Like, it makes no sense. But they always talk about work-life balance. Ain't no balance in that. When you got me jumping all over the place, schedule to schedule, like, no, 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 no. Whew. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. But again, my thoughts and prayers are go out to everybody that is going through something right now. You know, keep your head up. I know times are hard for a lot of people, but something something got to give, something got to break, and something better is coming along, hopefully much sooner than later. So if this resonated with you, if you're going through something, like that, or somebody that's going through something like that, leave me a comment, and hit that like button and hit that subscribe, and I will check back in with y'all on the next video. But for now, y'all need to make sure that y'all saving as much money as you can and cut out whatever unnecessary expenses. Uh, you know, just save. That's all I can say. Save as much money as you possibly can. And be on the lookout for signs when, sometimes again, there's writing on the walls that something going on with these jobs, and we just don't pay attention because we're like, well, yeah, that ain't gonna happen to us. And think about all them people that got them tech jobs and them coding jobs that help build these systems for these companies, and now they're being told, well, thank you so much for your services. Today is your last day. Don't let that be you. But you don't know if it's gonna be you. Hopefully it won't, but stack your money, man. That's all I can say. So I'll see y'all on the next video, and yeah, hit that like button and hit that subscribe. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.